Hello, everyone, and welcome along to another episode of the Red Zone podcast with me, your host, Fletch. A few things to talk about today. It's mainly going to be about the games of the past week and previewing Saturday's game against Cardiff. We're going to talk about the 1-0 win over Huddersfield. We're going to talk about the 4-0 win over Red Star Belgrade. And we're going to talk Cardiff. Now, so we begin with the 1-0 victory against Huddersfield. Mo Salah got the goal. It was a rather poor performance, in all honesty. Not to the level we expected. We were going to, I personally was expecting an absolute goals fest here. I was expecting us to properly begin operation. Well, not really operation, but I was fully expecting Liverpool to finally click into gear here. We've got a very favourable, I guess is the right word, run ahead of us against teams that are in and around the bottom of the table, excluding the Arsenal fixture, of course. And I thought that this would be the perfect start for us to get a few goals in our front three, especially get some more confidence in the team and really use it as a stepping stone to press on with the season. We've seen over the past few weeks that Manchester City have been doing it. They've been smashing teams left, right and centre, and they've pretty much played the entirety of the bottom half of the table over the past recent weeks, it seems, with the exception of us, of course. So I thought that we would do something similar along them lines. We would go to Huddersfield, and I thought we'd at least stick through maybe 4, maybe even more past them. It wasn't to be. It was in my opinion, a rather poor performance. Our midfield options in that game were slightly stretched, which surprised me that Adam Lallana started. I didn't really like I say, I got nothing against Lallana. It's just I didn't think he would start. But I guess with the injuries that we had, I don't think we really. I don't know. I'm torn between not really having a choice and the type of midfielder that he is, saying it was the right call. I'll leave that down to you guys. I'm not 100% sure. But either way, we got the win. Adam Lallana still played, and it's all good. It's fine. Obviously, Henderson came off midway through with an injury, which wasn't great. Milner didn't look like he'd fully recovered from his injury that saw him limp off during the City game. But apart from that, it was okay. We got the 3 points and a clean sheet nonetheless. That's another thing to add to the collection. I thought Alisson made 1 or 2 good saves, but he was really troubled. Other than that, I thought Huddersfield, despite hitting the post and having a goal that was marginally ruled out for offside, I just didn't think they had that little bit of luck or quality in the final third to really test Alisson that much. I thought Gomez's performance was absolutely outstanding. He continues to get better and better with each passing week. It's just incredible that this guy is so good right now, whether he's playing at centre-back or at right-back. I'm not too crazy of him being at right-back, by the way, and that's nothing against Lovren. I just prefer Gomez to Lovren right now. I still think Lovren's good as a backup. I just don't think that we should be playing Lovren at centre-back and shifting Gomez out there just because Trent is on the bench kind of thing. I don't agree with that. But I will say that both Lovren and Van Dijk look pretty comfortable. It's another clean sheet with Lovren starting in defence. It's good for his confidence. It gets him in the team because obviously when we get to that busy sort of winter period, that Christmas period, we will be using our squad more and more in rotation. So it gets Lovren's confidence a bit up more for when he has to come in. And it will look good in the future, I'm sure. Robertson, other than I was going to Red Star Belgrade, but I'm talking about like before that game. His attacking nature was sort of like curved a little bit. I didn't think he was attacking as much, and to be fair, I did think he was a little isolated at times, especially when defending. I thought he was left kind of like 2v1 at times. And that sort of didn't help that we had Shaqiri and Lallana as our sort of like number 10 and left winger. it's sort of like at times felt like one of them was meant to be in one position, the other one was meant to be in the other position, and they were just sort of like either not communicating on the same level or something, because when defending, it was like Robertson, like I said, was being left 2v1, and he wasn't as great in recent in this game as he was in recent games. Whatever, it's fine. We got through the game. It wasn't great, like I said, by any means, but it was still a pretty okay performance from Robertson, to be fair. Milner, again, workhorse despite the injury. I can't actually believe he played this game, considering like he was not meant to be in this game. He was meant to be out with a hamstring injury. He was not meant to be playing again. We were not meant to be seeing him until November. Incredible how he's managed to recover. Whether this has a long-term effect on it, I don't know. I hope not, for the sake of squad game and all stuff like that. So I hope he's okay. I hope everything is going to be okay, and I hope that he returns to full fitness soon. I thought Henderson kept the ball in midfield pretty well. Unfortunate with the injury at half time, but Wijnaldum came on, slotted right into his place, and was slightly more advanced, especially when Fabinho came on. He showed some nice touches, good passing to keep control in midfield, and played very well. I thought both Henderson and Wijnaldum did pretty well. Lallana felt like his positional wise was caught cold a few times. Maybe that has something to do with the fact that this is his first game back properly. Like I said, I'm not a massive fan of Lallana now. I did like him before his injury, to an extent. I just think that he's the kind of player that his finishing should be better than what it is. He's the kind of guy that will attempt to take a touch too many. Other than that, I do like his work rate. I do like him as a player. I just think that maybe, like I say, he just tries a little bit too hard at times and it doesn't come off. I think if we had signed like a James Maddison or a Nabil Fekir in the summer, Lallana would be nowhere near this team. He probably would have gone in the summer had we have signed one of them two players. Obviously that didn't transpire. Lallana's still here. I hope that obviously he does stay fit, and I hope there is a sort of chance for him, because after Sturridge proved me wrong. So I did not think Sturridge. I think like a lot of fans actually probably didn't think Sturridge had much of a future at Liverpool, but he's managed to turn it around brilliantly. I sort of hope Lallana can do the same, but at the same time I know there are better options out there. So, January time rolls round, if the right player becomes available, unlikely of course, but if the right player becomes available, maybe just get him instead of Lallana as an upgrade, or maybe just wait till the summer. I'm not expecting Lallana to stay around for long. I'm really not, which is a little unfortunate, but at the same time, things move on, and I feel sorry for him in the same way that I feel sorry for Danny Ings. Like if they hadn't have had reoccurring horrible injuries, maybe their Liverpool careers might have been better than what they actually were. Little bit of sympathy there, but sometimes that's just how football goes. Xherdan Shaqiri, assist for Salah's goal was really good. He always attempts something different, and that's what I like about this guy. I've always liked it. I saw it at Munich, I saw it at Stoke, Inter, you name it. He always tries something different, and that's what I like about it. It doesn't always come off, of course, but at least he's not doing the same old thing and expecting different results kind of thing. The paraphrasing of the definition for insanity, or the misquote for insanity, or whatever that is. His final ball was a little off in this game, but like I say, he didn't really stand out in either sense as much as any other player. So it's nothing. Just write off this game as, yeah, we got the win, let's just move on. Salah got his goal. He showed small signs that his sharpness was I'll say it's like that. was returning in this game. He had a second half attempt, and there was like a moment where he did like a sharp turn on the defender and got right close to the byline, but the on-rushing goalkeeper closed down the angle, so he couldn't quite find a cross, and then he blocked it. But yeah, it did show small signs that his sharpness was coming back, so really happy with that. And Sturridge, he was fairly isolated at times. His work rate isn't like Firmino, which is a shame. I do like Sturridge, like I say, but if there was one thing I would love him even more is if he had the work rate of Firmino, because then at least he could probably properly challenge Firmino to a starting place. I don't think he'll ever start. He can get as many goals as he wants. I just don't think that he will start because of the type of player that Firmino is in comparison to him. There was also one moment in the second half where he played through Salah for Salah's chance that he just hit wide, which is pretty good. Other than that, he was fairly isolated. Didn't really see much of Sturridge at all. Fabinho came on in the midway through stage of the second half. He looked pretty good. He stabilised in midfield. We were at a point where we needed to get a foothold of the game, and Fabinho allowed us that. He gave us that platform to build upon. He showed some nice touches, good passing, nice movement as well. He always looked bright, always looked to try and find a forward pass. It looked really good. And Firmino came on, didn't really have much time of an impact. It was a little poor in his usual standard of link-up play, but you know what, it's fine. It's fine. We got the 3 points. We move on to Champions League. Champions League, once against Red Star Belgrade this week. Now, a year ago, you may remember we played a team called Maribor at this stage, and I was seeing this Red Star game as our Maribor game of last year. At this stage last year, we weren't playing that great in the Premier League. We were average at best, and like this year, we are average at best so far. You know, it wasn't a massive task ahead of us, but it was probably the game that we needed. I think if this game had come any earlier, it might not have meant as much, it might not mean as much, and it might not be as much in the future. But yeah, this is the game that I was looking forward to because this was meant. I looked at this as our Maribor game. We smashed Maribor 7-0 at this stage last season in the Champions League. The Maribor game was our back-to-back game, so we smashed them 7-0 and then 3-0 in the next game, the away leg. I think was it away? I don't remember, but like as I say, in the first game we played against them, 7-0. For second game, 3-0. This was the game that got our front three sparked into life. They went on to then have an unbelievable season where they broke numerous records, got plenty of goals, and went on to help us get fourth in the Premier League, a good, and obviously that run to Kiev in the final of the Champions League. That's what helped springs into life, and that's what I thought this game would be. I thought we haven't played that great all season, but now here comes a run of games, including the back-to-back Champions League one, where we can get a lot of goals, plenty of points, and kick on our season. And that's pretty much what we did in this game. It helped. I think the Red Star fans being banned from the game slightly helped us a little bit, because them first 20 minutes were, well, just under 20 minutes, I should say. We say 18. Them first 18 minutes or so, it was like we were just a little bit off the pace, I thought. I don't know if that was like our plan to like have them come out and try and attack us a little bit, and then we just play around them and attack them. But for them first 18 minutes, we looked like we were just a yard off the pace a little bit. We were just being beaten to the second ball. But once we had that one chance, which was the one chance that we took, which was the goal, where Robertson crossed it in for Firmino. Firmino takes his time, controls the ball, shifts it onto his left foot, shoots and scores. Once we got that, that was basically game over from there because they had then had nothing. They had no crowd support. They only could hear the Liverpool fans. There was reports that maybe one or two of them had managed to sneak their way in. The Red Star fans had managed to sneak their way in because every time Shaqiri got the ball, there were always a few boos heard. But obviously they were going to be outnumbered anyway. So the vast majority that you could probably hear was from, well, not probably, definitely you could hear was from the Liverpool fans. So they really had nothing in this game, and it was a little bit unfortunate for them, but at the same time worked in our favour, I think. And this, like I say, from when we got the first goal, I was literally begging them to just go on and just absolutely annihilate Red Star. Get as many goals as you can under your belts. Get as much confidence as you can get, and just go on and smash them, because then we can go on to Cardiff and we can smash them. Then we can go on to Arsenal. That's going to be the big game. Arsenal in form right now. As I'm recording this currently, 11 games unbeaten, 11 games winning streak. That's going to be a tough game for us. So get as much confidence as you can for that game by just getting as many goals as you can in these games coming up. And who knows? But yeah, like I say, this was meant to be our memorable game, and I think we worked that out great. Our forward three sparked into life. There were signs that our link-up play was beginning to come back. We were starting to pick the right ball at times. And it says a lot that the only thing that I can criticise was probably Mane's penalty miss. Okay, the two penalties that we did receive looked a little bit soft. They weren't a little bit soft, they were very soft. They're the kind of penalties that are usually given against us, but that's another story for another day. That's the only real criticism I can have of this game, really. I thought Alisson in goal, he had absolutely nothing to do apart from maybe take one or two goal kicks. That was probably the easiest paycheck he's ever received. Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back. He was back at right back. I thought his delivery was poor. I thought his delivery from set pieces was extremely poor. But apart from that, he just did his job. Really, he did his normal defensive and attacking duties pretty well. Joe Gomez, man, he is just too good. He is mini Van Dijk. Just a younger version of Van Dijk. That's it. Gomez is going to be an absolute baller. He's just got everything. And alongside Van Dijk, he's just even better. And Van Dijk was great too on the night. It's scary that we finally have now a solid defensive partnership. My only hope is that Klopp doesn't disrupt this partnership anymore, because I just want to see it continue to develop and grow, and eventually you'll have like what Juventus currently have. You'll have the Chiellini-Bonucci partnership that Juventus currently have. That's just incredible. We could have that with Gomez and Van Dijk. It would be amazing. I just hope they doesn't try and like shoehorn Lovren in there just because A, it's Lovren, and B, trying to make people happy. I just hope that doesn't happen. Sure, play Lovren when Gomez or Van Dijk needs a rest or whatever. Then do that, but don't do it just for the sake of doing it. Like over the Christmas period, I'm expecting Lovren to feature a little bit more because of obviously how the games come thick and fast, but don't just do it for the sake of doing it. Andy Robertson was back to his attacking way. He assisted Firmino's goal. Constant nuisance down that left-hand side. Always looking to win the ball back. His energy and his work rate, awesome. Gini Wijnaldum in the central midfield. He kept things tidy. Kept things nice, neat and tidy. Showed a few good passes. Good performance from him, I thought. I thought Fabinho was excellent. I thought Fabinho was man of the match. He was always looking to play the ball forward. I think I've read a stat somewhere that said he made the most tackles out of anyone in the entirety of the third game of the group stage. So that is quite an accolade, quite a achievement, quite a stat. If you're into them kind of things, them stat kind of things. Yeah, he was just incredible. He was just constantly winning the ball back for us, and I just think if he can adapt that to the Premier League, then we're complete. Because if he can do that, and we can get Keita integrated into the team quickly, a midfield three of Gini, Fabinho, and Keita, or even Keita, Fabinho, and Shaqiri, because Shaqiri ran the show yesterday from that central role. He was absolutely relishing in that central role. That'd be amazing. That would be incredible. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like Ronaldo's improvement this season should not be overlooked, but I just think that maybe Ronaldo is so versatile in the midfield role that he can play that he's great as a backup too. To anything, he can play that Fabinho role. He can play the more advanced role. He can play the sort of engine role. He can play that, but it'd be great if we can integrate Keita very quickly too. And like I said with Shaqiri, he made another assist last night, and basically the majority of passes that he made got to its intended target, and he was running the show, pulling the strings. He was incredible. He was the main reason why the first goal was set up in the first place, because he made a defence splitting pass to Robertson. Robertson ran onto it, found Bobby Firmino in the box, and Firmino scores. Simple as that. I thought he was excellent. Mohamed Salah got a couple of goals, could have had a few more. But like I say, he seems to have rediscovered that little bit of confidence. He seems to be getting his sharpness back, which is great to see. Firmino, his link-up play was great. He got his goal. And because of the way we were playing, like, Mane and Salah was so narrow that he was just allowed to roam anywhere. He was, like, so deep at times. It was like even Fabinho was ahead of him sometimes when he was defending. He was just everywhere, and it was just great to see that Firmino is looking to be back to his best. Mane, his link-up play was back. Yes, he missed a penalty, but he still got his head up and just still managed to get his goal afterwards anyway. It was just great. It was just a great game to see, and I just hope that this kind of form continues. Again, I will go back to this point. Yes, it was against Red Star Belgrade, but yes, last year we smashed Maribor 7-0. We had no idea at the time of the effects of that game would have on our front three in particular, because that was the game they woke up, that was the game they sprung into life, that was the game that began Firmino, well, not really began because obviously they scored beforehand, but that was where they really took a hold of this league and the Champions League, and they really gave it a massive shock. And it was just great to see. 4-0, Salah twice, Firmino and Mane. Salah obviously got one penalty. Again, penalty call was a bit soft, but there was no way we were going to lose. At the time it was 2-0. There was no way we were going to lose a 2-goal lead to Red Star, regardless of whether the penalty or not was a penalty, whether it went in or not. It doesn't matter. But yeah, hopefully we'll be back there in a couple of weeks. We'll actually be going to Serbia, and hopefully we can smash them again. Also, quick side note, it was even better night for Liverpool because Napoli and PSG played out a 2-2 draw, something I predicted. And it made it even better. So now Liverpool currently sit top of the table. The loss to Napoli is firmly behind us. Yes, we will have to face them at Anfield, but of course it's at Anfield, so it's like, you're in front of our fans. You thought you guys were hostile. We're going to be just as hostile back. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great end to the group stages, and I, for one, cannot wait. Now, we move on to Cardiff. Cardiff this weekend. They finally got their first win of the season last week against Fulham in a 4-2 victory. We have to win this game. We have to continue to build upon the Red Star performance. We have to continue to get points on the board. We have to continue to put pressure on the likes of Manchester City, who are against Tottenham this weekend in the Monday night game. And that's obviously no easy task. We made it sort of easy and then sort of difficult towards the end, but it's fine. We still managed to win. But on their day, Tottenham can be very difficult to beat. They can be difficult for City to beat. They've proven that in the past. So that should be a good game, but we should be able to put pressure on City before the game is even played, because we should be playing host to Cardiff and we should be winning this game. 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday. I'd expect Alisson, Trent, Gomez, Van Dijk and Robertson to start. And again, like I said earlier, the whole kind of shoehorning Lovren in just for the sake of it. It wouldn't surprise me here if that happens again and Gomez is forced to move out to the right back. I think with it being against Cardiff, I'm not too bothered about it, because we should win this game anyway, with or without Lovren. But I'm not too crazy about it either. So I'd expect Trent to start, but I'm gonna guess that Lovren starts, Gomez moves to the right. So that's my alternate me sort of thinking. In midfield, Gini and Shaqiri keep their place from midweek. I'm expecting Milner to replace Fabinho. I'm guessing we will see Fabinho in the game, but I'm just thinking that because Fabinho played the full 90 minutes, well then again, I guess the others did as well. But I think if Fabinho was going to play, I think he would have been substituted. I think he would be the one that if he was to play this weekend or start this weekend, he'd be substituted. But I think Milner comes back into the squad. Shaqiri keeps his place as the sort of number 10 role because, let's face it, he was awesome on Wednesday. Salah, Mane, Firmino, the usual trio, the usual suspects up front. I'm expecting goals here. I'm expecting Liverpool to win another 4-0 victory. I'm expecting Salah, Mane, Firmino all to be on the score sheet, and I'm expecting Shaqiri as well to bag himself a goal. There's not much more I can say really. We've got to, we've got to win. That's ultimately our first goal. And then sort of like our secondary role is to win in style. Win in style, because let's face it, City have been doing that. City have seemingly been doing that all season. So, like, when you cast an eye over your rivals and stuff, it just seems like City have been playing the same poor team week in, week out. Just seems like they've been playing like a Cardiff or a Fulham or a Huddersfield like every single week and just been smashing them, and no one's batted an eyelid. But they have in fact just had a more favourable run than what we've had. So yeah, we have, but it's all good in saying that. But if we don't go and then beat these kind of teams ourselves, we can't really say that it's been favourable. So we have to beat these kind of teams. We've got obviously Cardiff this week. We take the midweek off because obviously we haven't got no Carabao Cup action. We go to Arsenal next week. We got then Red Star the midweek after. And then we have I think it's Fulham. I don't want to say Fulham. Is it Fulham? I think it's Fulham. I'm pretty sure it's Fulham after. I know we have Fulham soon. Pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Fulham the week after the Arsenal game. And after Red Star. Pretty sure. Yeah, so I'm expecting a 4-0 Liverpool win. That's the team that I'm expecting to come out. The only two things, like I said, that I'm not 100% sure on: Lovren for Trent, and Milner for Fabinho. I can see it going both ways. I can see Klopp deciding on one or the other, and I think it will be probably touch and go. But we'll just have to see how it goes out. But either way, this team, whatever team it is, should be beating Cardiff no matter what. This is potential Premier League champions we're talking about right now. Yeah, we should be fine. We should be absolutely fine. Guys, if you have any comments whatsoever on any of the things I was talking about, whether it's the Huddersfield game, whether it's the Red Star game, or whether it's the Cardiff preview, I'd love to hear your comments in the your thoughts, opinions, comments, whatever you want to call it, in the comment section below. Seems like a rather short episode, to be honest, in which I just rambled on, which is just basically a normal episode then. Yeah, this has been an episode of sorts. Probably not as detailed as my other episodes, but I'm sort of pushed against the clock this week, so to speak. So, everything should be okay. Enjoy the game on Saturday. Hopefully we win. I'll be back next week with another episode of Red Zone Podcast. I'll be doing videos between now and then, obviously, so keep an eye out on the channel, which brings me to my plug. Like this video if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new, want to see more content like this, or want to see any of the other content on my channel. That would be great. And other than that, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Red Zone Podcast, and I will see and speak with you all again soon in either another video or another podcast. Peace out.